Okay, welcome back. Now we're talking a look at the ministerial nominees, the ministerial list, whichever adjective you want to use. But at the moment, we've been joined now by Onengia Erekosema, who is a public affairs analyst. Oh, never mind, Donny, but thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, it's interesting, the development to see playing itself out there, but what were your expectations? 13 names have been sent to the Senate. We're still await some 7. 3 weeks after the president sacked about 20 members of his cabinet. But with what you've seen, what do you make of it?
Ordinarily, I would not be talking about this topic. But because of the sensitive nature that is on ground, Niger Delta, I felt we must not keep quiet. We must talk so that our generation and the next generation would be able to forgive us. I have no problem with anybody in the list. But what we're talking about is the right kind of persons, most especially when it comes to Niger Delta. See, the people must have a voice. The people must make a decision for the kind of leadership they want, for the kind of person they want to lead them. In the Niger Delta, leaders are imposed on us. So we're saying, no. Now there is an opportunity. We believe change is coming all over the world. We believe what's happening in the Niger Delta, it's a generational change.
Well, yes, much as that may be the case. But before we get there, we'd like you to take a broad perspective, a broad look at all of the names. We understand that the president is going for technocrats, such that this time around, people who he thinks will deliver and move or help move his agenda, achieve his aim, which is going to be to the ultimate aim, benefit of Nigerians. So, what do you think about that?
Exactly, that's where I'm going to. There's no way you can remove Niger Delta from this issue. Right now, Niger Delta, it kind of represents Nigeria. So, we're saying it should not be like every other minister that you create. Every government comes and creates a minister. We're talking about the kind of minister that the people will accept. The kind of minister that will bring a change in that part of the world. Then it will affect Nigeria.
What kind of kind of qualities are you looking for in a minister, especially in the Niger Delta area? What do you think the president should be considering before appointing somebody to that ministry?
Yes, what he should be considering is the person that is close to the people. The person that is the people kind of person.
Does he necessarily have to be resident in the area, in the Niger
Well,
Delta?
yes, there is one basic thing. The peculiar nature of that area. You cannot bring an outsider to solve that problem. It must be an insider. It must be somebody who understands the terrain, who understands the hurting, who understands that violence is not helping anymore, who understands that it is time for change, a generational change. Somebody who has been participating in this program that affects that area and the rest of the world. So we are saying we have people like that, and that have been working close to these people, close to the system, seeing that, look, we must change for good.
Yeah, but some of the commentary we've heard from eminent Nigerians is such that they don't think you have to have somebody from the region to head the ministry when the time comes. Because, by the way, of the 13 names that has been submitted now, I'm not sure if
there's anyone there for the... Do you think of the 13 names, there's any name in there you can point to?
Well, what I know is that they will appoint 2 ministers for the Niger Delta states.
Okay.
And that's my interest. The mistake we make now, our children will not be able to forgive us if we make that mistake.
Okay. Of those 13 names, do you think there are any 2 in there that can be the minister and the minister of state?
Well, I have not looked for anyone, but my people, the people in the creek, we are all saying, look, there is somebody who works with the system. He understands the terrain. He knows what to say to these boys to drop their arms. He knows what to do to see that we change from a generational change. And we're saying, look, this person is Kingsley Kuku, a young man from Niger Delta who have decided long ago to be part of the system, to see how he can heal the crisis.
In there.
And yes, and he is one of those that are going for ministration. So we are saying, look, if you want to appoint any minister for us, don't impose it on us. Kingsley Kuku is our choice.
Okay. All the other states will say they want their person there. The
well, see, there must be somebody from somewhere. The person must come from somewhere. We're saying, like in Rivers, Bayelsas, we have ministers. But right now we're saying, look, let's give it to who is qualified. Who can do it right. It's not about, I like your face.
Yes.
It's about, how do we solve this problem? These boys are saying, look, we believe in this man. And the man is saying, look, if you believe in me, I believe in a change, a generational change that we need to get now. Drop your arms, let's negotiate, let there be peace. So we want to work with this kind of person.
You've spoken about generational change. You've mentioned that now about 4 times.
Yes.
I'm not sure how the government is going to react to that. As you know that a lot of the members of our government at the top, they're not of the generation that you're thinking. You know, you're thinking someone maybe in the 40s, 50s, who is more dynamic.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how you're going to achieve that.
Let me explain this. People don't understand what happens in the Niger Delta now. They think it's just about criminality, it's about struggle, it's about hostage taking, it's about kidnapping. It's not.
That's the impression they get.
That's the truth. That's what we see to be on the ground. But the truth is, we are heading towards a generational change that Nigeria and the world must accept. That we are seeing abide. The Bible says grace abides even more. And that if my people that are called by my name will turn, God says I will begin to heal their land. See, Nigerians and the world must support the Niger Delta to start a change that will affect the rest of Nigeria from there. A change where violence will be let go. Where people will stop going into armed struggle. And we're saying, look, give us the right person to represent us. And by the grace of, we must have to say it, because it is our destiny, it is our generation that we must save.
How is that going to key into the thinking of the day, which is they want technocrats, people who can fit in? I mean, take a look at that word, for instance, and if you look at the 13 names that the president has submitted.
Look at some of those people, Akunyili, Professor Shotimane. These are people who have been proven. They've, you know, in their little environment.
So is your thinking aligning itself with that?
Yes. The thinking is correct. But we're saying, in proven that you have an evidence that this person has done this, this person can do this. The Niger Delta state is peculiar to this one. It's very peculiar that you must bring somebody that will be accepted by the people. You must bring somebody that the people will see as, yes, is carrying our interests along. That's why we're calling names. We would not want to miss it. They say you did not give us names. Yes. We are saying these boys, the people, our generation is saying we need a change. We want to drop the arms. We want to drop this pipeline ventilation and others. And we're saying, look, give us Kingsley Kuku so that we can move on. We trust this man.
Well, we need 2 ministers there. You've only mentioned one name. Yes. Give us a second name.
When we talk about generational change,
yes,
the other minister is on the higher side for development. We don't want to talk about development when you're killing our people. We're talking about living life. Allow the young men to live. Stop killing our young men. They are ready to change. The bad ones, those that have carried arms, are saying, look, we want to change.
I thought the ultimate aim was to bring development to the region.
That's what I'm telling you. We're getting it wrong. Because most people come in and say, look, we need development. And they use these boys as an excuse to hold whatever development they want to come. And we are saying, no, don't use us as sacrifice. We are young men. We are youth. Don't use us if you've made mistakes in the past. Don't say because there was no development. So let us save ourselves. Let's live our life. Let there be peace. Then there will be development. Development cannot come in one day.
And development can't come when there's no peace.
That's it. That's the point. So we are saying the world should stop deceiving us with development and killing us and taking our oil. We need peace. When peace comes, we will get development. So whatever person is saying about development is just beating around the bush. Development is like a change. It's permanent. But if you kill my brother today because he has carried gun yesterday, he can never be there tomorrow. You can get a bridge that is not there today, tomorrow. But you can never get my brother that is not there again tomorrow. So we are saying, look, please, you're wasting our generation. We need to do something about it. Don't put development before us. Let us have peace and development will come.
Yeah, but one of the essence, correct me if I'm wrong, that the ministry was set up by the federal government, by the president, is that they want to ensure that yes, there's peace in the area and ultimately development comes to the area. He wants to take on the problems of the region headlong.
Yes.
So if this is your view concerning that, isn't that daggers drawn with the original thought of creating the ministry in the first instance?
Now let me tell you, we've been getting ministries, governors, leaders. Our leaders, I tell you again, have always been imposed on the Niger Delta people. We've never had an election in Niger Delta. They are always imposed. But for this one, we are saying we don't believe the government, our government.
Why is that?
Now let me tell you, because they seem to work not for the benefit of the people, but for themselves. So now we're saying it may be because we did not say this is our leader. So we're now choosing for ourselves. Say, look, okay, if there be any blame, put it on us. We'll give you time frame. If you choose this person because we trust him, we trust him that he's not going to kill us, he's going to forgive us, he's going to use us, we're going to be part of the society. If you use this person, there will be peace. We will work with him. We will be part of the development so that there will be peace in the region.
Isn't that going to be sending some conflicting signals now? If you say the people there are not working for you, does it mean that you're indirectly indicting the people in the region because you have to hold your people accountable?
Well, that's the point. That's why I keep telling you. Our leaders have always been imposed on us. We must see, we this generation people are saying, look, we want to change from that thing of the past where we will not have election and you just give us leaders. We have to change from those things. It has been affecting us.
Are all the groups in the Niger Delta united behind Mr. Kingsley Kuku?
Yes, that is one good thing I have to tell you now. Yes, we have, by God's grace, we are taking campaigns around the whole Niger Delta creeks. We have done over 90% of it. We are reconciling all the factions that are fighting against themselves. Kingsley Kuku is personally doing so much of these things. And for God's sake, before this ministry thing came up, and we said, okay, better for us, our son is there that has always been working with these people. We must use this opportunity.
Was your group able to make any presentations to the Niger Delta Technical Committee when they were sitting?
Very well, yes. Very well. See, we have the solution to the Niger Delta crisis in one sheet of paper. I will show you. I think I have one here. One sheet of paper to solve this Niger Delta crisis. Which is this one? Just a one-sheet draft. And we're saying in less than 6 months, this so-called Niger Delta crisis, we will end it. We know the people. They are not spirits. They are not ghosts. And in less than 6 months, we will bring these things to end. This thing the world is thinking everybody must come together and end it, and they are making it look so big. It's not as that big. It's just a definite plan by some people to see how they benefit from the crisis.
But there are those who will automatically say now that you're sounding like a politician. They make a lot of promises, but when the chips are down, they don't fulfill them.
This is my generation. I do what I do with my life. Nobody can send me. Nobody can use me. I am saying, I am talking for myself as a leader that was chosen by my people. To say, look, we the youths are saying, this thing is enough. The government is saying, no, they will kill those boys because they have carried gun before. We say, don't kill them because we know that you made them in the past. Most of our leaders, our politicians in the past made these people. So don't kill them, give them a chance.
Let me ask you.
That we can now use them positively. That's what we're saying.
Before the government even came about creating the Niger Delta Ministry, what were you thinking? How were you going to achieve your aims and objectives in the first instance?
At first, we did not believe in it. Let me tell you the truth.
Oh,
we don't even still believe in it. It is not the ministry that will make the change. The ministry will not even take us anywhere. But we want to take the ministry somewhere. That's why we're contributing to say, look, this is who we want as a leader. Because the ministry cannot do anything in itself. It is the people that have to move the ministry to do something. And we are saying, look, if you give us this person, we will work with this person to make sure your objective that will even benefit us the more comes to play. So we don't have belief in the ministry, but it is who is in the ministry that we want to work with take it somewhere.
Don't you think that's going to go across purposes with the original plan of the government? Because if you, much as, yes, there's nothing wrong in having your own ideology, but if you're not aligned to, what do they say now, the route, you'll be going somewhere else. If you have to key into the agenda, to the vision of the government of the day, and if you don't do that,
now let me tell you, why it is frightening. if the government brings in development as an excuse to bring a ministry for Niger Delta, then they've missed the point.
Yeah.
The government agenda must be peace. What we are talking about is peace.
Yeah, isn't that the government agenda?
So then it means we're in line. If we're in line, we're saying, please, what will stop it is that don't impose the leader on us. Allow us to have a voice. Allow us to have a person that we can work with. If you bring that, then there won't be this fight back.
Okay.
That's what we're saying. So if you give us a person like Kingsley Kuku, we say we can work with him. We trust him. He's a government man. Yeah, we're not government people. But yes, this is somebody in time past with other records. I am still waiting for which person from the Niger Delta that will come out and say he's better than Kingsley Kuku on that position.
Because as you know, Chamberlain, it's the governors send in names, they nominate names. And if Kingsley Kuku's name is not the nominee, I don't know how he's going to get in there.
It should not be what the governor wants now. It should be what the people want.
Okay.
That's why I am doing this. Don't impose anybody on us. We are saying we have gone round the creeks, we've talked to the boys, and over 90% of them are saying, look, if it is this, we will be ready for peace. We will be ready to lay down our arms. So let's not miss it. Let us make it like every other administration position that comes in, and you just pick people because you like them or you know their grandfather or whatever. Okay. We are saying, please let the right people be on board. And we are telling you, if we do that with our programs, in less than 6 months, it will be forgotten in a hurry what has ever happened in Niger Delta concerning crisis.
From the 13 names that have been submitted to the Senate, I'm not sure any one of them will catch your fancy because you appear to be a lot more interested in who heads the Niger Delta Ministry. But in spite of all of that, some names have been submitted to the federal government, to the Senate. And now, who knows, you never can tell when the screening will start. And what happens if one of the persons in that 13, one of those names, is asked to come in and head the ministry? After all, the government set it up, so they know what they wanted to achieve with it in the first instance.
Well, yes, it's good that the government has set up their own program. But we are saying the people have their own mind too. That in the government program, that is beautiful. The 7-point agenda of Mr. President and the peace plan for Niger Delta are wonderful. But he can't do it alone. So we want to be part of it. We want to build a society with the young men in the society to be able to lay a good foundation for our next generation. So whatever list they are submitting, we are saying if it is not the people's choice, it will not succeed. It will not get what it wants to get. So please.
What happens when you say if it's not the people's choice? And because we understand
I mean, if someone like a Professor Akunyili, for instance, is appointed minister for the Niger Delta, are we saying that, we doubt that she will do the work?
Well, what we're saying is you must be on ground. You must be a Niger Delta person to be able to tell the people you're representing, the government, the truth. It's not just becoming relevant because you're a minister.
Well, some of the names which you see appear on the screen now, to some extent, you have people who will say, well, they think these people to a great extent to represent their interest, and that has to do with the people. But in some other states, Kogi State, for instance, there's a lot of disagreement about who represents them. And in spite of the names that have been submitted from, for instance, look at those, from those states, you still have people who have reservations about all of these names. You can't satisfy everybody, can you?
What we're saying is, what's the problem on the ground? Why a new ministry for Niger Delta? There is problem on the ground that you want to solve. And this problem cannot just be solved because you want to just give a ministry, like the NDDC, for instance. You have to get the right people there to do the right thing. That's exactly what we're saying. So, like our movement, the Niger Delta Non-Violent Movement, we are saying, look, we will partner with the right choice of government.
And you're assuming that your nominees will pass all the security screening. That's another thing entirely.
Well, the security screening should be able to go down to earth and say, look, what's your program as? What has it been in the past? What have you been doing? What impact have you for that region? If they go down there, then they will discover that the kind of person we're talking about is qualified for that position. Because you must get the person the people believes in. You must get it to solve the problem in the Niger Delta. And we are saying by the grace of God, the peace we experience right now in the Niger Delta is because of this non-violent campaign. It's not just because of the presence of military and other people. We have told our people, look, your conscience must come alive. You cannot just be killing people. You cannot just be carrying guns and hostage taking and whatever. So we say, look, we must bring in people that understand how these people reason to talk with them. And we've been doing that with Kingsley Kuku. So we say, if you bring him on board, we tell you, we give you a period of time. Say, look, this thing will end at this period of time. If it does not end, whosoever think he is a spirit that will not accept it, when everybody is saying, look, this is what we want, we the people will go after you. You don't have to head. Why must you carry gun? You're not licensed. So we are saying, look, these are the things we will do to make sure we have a free society. Then development can come.
Right,
so whoever is interviewing who or whatever screening, we are saying, look, you must not take sentiment into this issue.
All right, thank you very much.
Let's face the facts.
That's why we have to let it go. Onengia Rekosima commenting on his thoughts about the ministerial list and who they think will suit to the Niger Delta ministry. That's all we have to leave it. Thank you very much for coming on the program today.
Thank you.
Well, don't go away. Sunrise Daily continues in just a moment. So join us again.